Hey, what's up everybody, it's Rox, and I am coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 7, Episode 20. So, I watched the episode actually very late last night because I was watching Black Girls Rock on BET, which was so good. Did you guys watch it? I'm telling you, it's so funny how BET really... You can tell the things that are important to them because they actually put out a good product. The shit that they don't really believe in, they just skimp on. If they could just make all of their productions like Black Girls Rock, oh, it was so good. Anyway, you guys, did you watch it? Just inspiring. These are the kind of things that black women today, especially our younger black girls, need to watch. Just to know that everything is not just negative, and there are black women who are making strides in the world today. So very, very inspiring. I watched it and it was good. So after that went off, I took my bath and all that stuff, and then I went on and watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it was, what did you guys, okay, we're gonna get to the review. Okay, so like I was starting to say, the show was very calm. It was cool though. I enjoyed it, but it ain't gonna be no long review. I hope y'all know that. Let's talk about Nene first, since Nene didn't go on the trip. Nene's in New York. She is getting fitted for her costumes for Cinderella. You guys know she is playing the evil stepmother. And it ain't nothing. She goes down there, she tries on her outfits. She's kind of... I think it finally hits her what she's about to do. She is nervous. She's telling I guess he's the costume, maybe the costume director or something like that. She's just telling him how she's nervous and how this is a big deal. They do a little flashback of how far Nene has come, all the way from the stripper pole to the stage. Oh my God. There is a damn car over here, and the horn just keeps going off. Do you hear it? It just goes. It doesn't, it's not beep. Okay, it just went off again. Let's try to get through this. They do a little collage, montage, whatever you want to call it, of her different, different shades of Nene, all the different scenes and the different changes she's been, whatever. Okay. Nothing. Good for Nene. She on Broadway. She is not on the trip. They didn't miss her. She didn't miss them. Shit. It looks like all's well that ends well there. It's not too much of nothing, okay? The girls, Claudia, Kenya, let's see, it's Claudia, Kenya, and Cynthia meet after, the dinner. They're just talking about how well it went. They're hoping that Kenya and Phaedra are able to make some sort of strides on mending their friendship, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Cynthia says that, Phaedra is definitely capable of forgiving if she didn't already forgave She didn't already forgave Nene, and now she's her best friend. It's just so funny, all the stuff that Cynthia says. Anytime she says anything about Nene, I just be like, it sound like what you used to be. But she's just saying that maybe, anything is possible. But yeah, other than that, you guys, what? Candy's very happy that the trip has brought everybody together. She said it's something like a Zen thing. Everybody is together and all on the same page and laughing and having a good time. Even she and Phaedra seems to have worked out some of their kinks. And that's kind of how it goes. Like when you go on vacation and shit, everything is because you're away from the reality. Everything just be real hunky-dory. Everybody has a good time. Everybody gets along. Okay, it's like your little chance to just not deal with whatever is going on for real. Here goes the horn again. I tell you, I can't operate under these circumstances. I've been trying to get this studio in a place where I can record, and every time it's something. I hope it's not picking up on this mic real loud. But anyway, they go to their next location. Very nice other place. After they get their rest or whatever, the next day they get dressed. They're going to go on a horseback ride up a volcano. Everybody is out there, you guys. That Portia got her ass out there. I said Portia. Y'all, she had that little Pocahontas outfit on. And I was just like, is she trying to look like she did? Why you got your ass all the way out. We ain't at the beach. Maybe it was hot. I'm sure it was hot. Maybe it was very humid and everything, but I was just like, it barely fit. Okay, it was like her titties was almost out the bottom, her ass was almost out the bottom. I was just like, Portia, girl, you just really want them to talk now. And I was real proud of the fact that the girls didn't get into it over that outfit. When Phaedra said the Queen of Thotland, I swear I couldn't stop laughing. Bitch, you said that. But anyway, they get on up the volcano. Wasn't that shit funny when Cynthia couldn't get on her horse? That horse was like, That horse was like, the devil is a liar. You is not getting on my back with all that shit you got. You something about your aura ain't right. I don't like getting on horses. I used to go horseback riding with my aunts. They used to go up to Griffith Park when I lived in LA when I was little. They would get on the horse and they would be drinking and having a good time, and they would get on their horse and they would take off. And then they would leave the kids back there with the instructors or whatever. So we would try to get on our horses. Y'all, I remember one time I jumped off my horse. My horse just took off. It just took off running. I had to drop the reins and everything. Y'all was holding on to the horse like this. That bitch was holding on, y'all. Finally, I just jumped off. So I sprained my ankle. Ever since that day, I was like, I ain't fucking around with no horses. Horses don't fuck with Roxanne, and Roxanne don't fuck with the horses. But once they was able to get it together, they went on the little ride, and they got on up to the top, and it was beautiful. And again, they all felt real good and was happy to be there. Then after that, the next day, they go and sock up Loco collar. You guys watch I Love Lucy? Y'all remember the episode when she was going around Italy trying to learn about the culture, and she was going to go soak up local color, and Ricky said sock up Loco. Anyway, y'all don't watch I Love Lucy, do you? So the girls, they get dressed, and the next day they go out, sightseeing and shopping. And again, everything is good. They're having a good time. Everybody's laughing. There's light shade thrown, but, nobody takes offense. It was refreshing. For me anyway, to watch them in that kind of atmosphere, and it just don't be. A lot of people was tweeting that it was boring because I actually tweeted like, how's the show? I haven't watched it yet. And people were like, boring, it's nothing. And it's so funny, we be complaining about them fighting all the time, but then you be mad when they don't fight. Again, it was cool. Now, the big elephant in the room was the fact that Phaedra said that she would talk to Kenya at the dinner the other night. So both Phaedra and Kenya know that they said they were going to do it. The trip is about to come to a close. It's like, okay, it's either now or never. Phaedra, before she talks to Kenya, she calls her pastor. His name is Pastor Thaddeus. Pastor Thaddeus. I wrote his name down. Pastor Thaddeus, okay? And she just tells him, like, I'm about to talk to Kenya, and I want to be right. I don't want to get to yelling and screaming. I don't want to argue. I want to stay godly. I don't want to lose my damn religion up here with this child. So, he was just like, just keep cool. Don't get outside of yourself. Okay, so while Phaedra is preparing to meet up with Kenya, the other girls, they're in the room. That would be Claudia, Candy, Portia, Demetria, Cynthia. I guess that's everybody. They're in the other room, and they're kind of having like a pajama party. So again, it's all good. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. It could have been a few times that people could have got offended. Okay, again, Portia had on, this little teeny tiny nightie. I guess that's what you could call it. But everybody was just not so easily offended and always thinking the other person has an angle. It was when you can have a good time is when you don't feel like you have to be on guard. They're having a good time. They even acting out the scene of maybe Kenya and Phaedra while they're talking because they weren't privy to, they're not going to be privy to the conversation. So they laughing, joking, drinking, whatever. Ordering up, room service because that shit is on Bravo's dime. I was like, shit, I'd have done the same thing. While they're over there having their fun, Phaedra and Kenya talks. Now the talk wasn't anything earth-shattering because it's just so, I think everybody just tired now. It started off, it was uncomfortable. Kenya just was like, I'm just gonna put the ball in Phaedra's court and let her start this however she wants to. Phaedra's trying to get herself together. She's drinking water. She's just like, bear with me for a second. So Phaedra was like, before everything happened and everything went crazy, I thought we were going to try to be friends. We were trying to build some friendship. I was hurt over everything that was said and everything that was done. Of course, when people are hurt, You know, hurt people hurt people. It's such an old cliche-ish. I hate that fucking term, hurt people hurt people. But you know, I guess it's true. So, you know, she was like, I guess I did, you know, claw back and say some things that I probably shouldn't have said. Kenya was just like, yeah, well, that whole thing, you know, you just went out of your way, it seemed like, to damage my reputation and my character. You know, the whole thing about me being a whore, which wasn't true. It just really seemed like you were going out of your way to destroy me. Phaedra said, no, that's not what I was trying to do. I didn't want to destroy you, but I mean, you know, fuck, when you fighting, all's fair, right? Okay, shit gets real ugly real quick. That's why I keep telling people, you know, you could be playing and the other person is dead serious, okay? So that's why you can't keep shit going, because then it gets out of hand, and then as the gloves is off, and then everybody just scratching and clawing at everybody. So she said, well, I apologize, you know, sincerely for that, and you know, I won't call you a whore. And she was just like, well, you say that, and she was like, yeah, I haven't called you a whore at all this year. Kenya was just like, I just want you to understand that what I'm telling you is true. I never saw your husband in Los Angeles. I never did anything with him. You know, she goes on to just try to clear her name, and it's really important for me that you understand and believe me. Yeah, Phaedra's not quite there, okay? Phaedra's just like, look, I just can't change anything about the past. I'm not even thinking about the past anymore. From now on, I'm just going to say you have a clean slate and we can move forward and try to work on our friendship. Well, that's not enough for Kenya. Kenya is just like, see, that is because you still believe that I did those things. And Phaedra's just like, I can't change anything about that. You know, she still believes, or she is still not willing to say, okay, none of that happened. Because of all of the back and forth over the years, it's a lot of water under that bridge. So, you know, Phaedra's just like, you're going to have to take me for this. What I say today is I'm willing to try to work on this friendship. I'm not going to, you know, bring up all that shit that happened with Apollo. You know, this is just going to have to be it. So they both agree that they're going to work on it. Okay, and I guess that's going to have to be good enough for both of them. Phaedra invites her to church. She says that she can't go to church on Sunday, but, you know, we can pray right now, which was refreshing. I've never heard that kind of response from Kenya, but they pray, and, you know, I know people just really don't trust Kenya, but I really feel like she's sincere, at least in that moment of trying to forget about all this and move on. The problem with Kenya is I think Kenya lets a lot of the outside voices, the social media chatter and all of that get to her, and then it just kind of changes. But this little small moment, it looks like, you know, they were both sincere in what they were saying to each other. So after they finish that, they hug it out. Okay, it looks like it's going to be all good. They go on down there and they meet up with the girls at the slumber party. Okay, as soon as they get there, everybody want to know what they talked about. I was just like, what? You know, so how did it go? What did you guys talk about? I was just like, why are you guys asking them that? Okay, let them have their privacy. They sitting next to each other. I don't even know when was the last time them two girls was able to even, you know, share the same fucking cushion on the couch. So let's just say it's progress, okay? The next day, they getting ready to leave. They meet up at this place, I guess, for lunch. And again, everybody's laughing, giggling, having a good time. And then, you know, Claudia asked the the question that I guess everybody wanted to know. Was just like, has anybody talked to Nene? And as soon as they said Nene, it was like doom and gloom. It was like, dun, dun, dun. Everybody just kind of looks around like, we about to go home, you guys. That's exactly how you feel when you be on vacation. You had a good time and all of that, and then you know it's some bullshit waiting for you at the house. You just be sitting there like, fuck, I done forgot about this shit for 7 whole days. And Portia was just like, yeah, I was able to talk to her. She was just really happy to hear that we was all getting along. If she was here, she would have fell right in line with the rest of us. And honey, everybody was just like, negative. That will not be Nene trying to fall in line with everybody else. But you know what? Portia, good try. Okay, Portia's trying to still stick up for her girl Nene, who missed out on all the fun. Say what you want. Nene does change the whole feel of the group. Nene has a lot of bearing on what is and isn't said. If Nene would have been there, like Candy said, that everybody would have been sectioned off in their groups. Nobody would have been willing to try to work together. Nene is a lot of the problem. Okay, but I also feel like these girls allow themselves to be manipulated and molded into whatever Nene wants them to be. They don't have to be that way. They can be the way they were on this trip all the time. But that was it, y'all. I can't believe I was able to get 15 minutes out of this whole thing, because it wasn't much of nothing. Okay, whatever I missed, y'all, leave it down in the comments section. Alright, you guys, so that's it. When is the finale? Because I thought that this was going to be the finale, and it seems like we got a couple more episodes to go. So, if y'all know that, let me know when the finale is coming. But anyway, let me get on back to work. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright? Alright, so I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.